It is a step underneath the signing ceremony. We are excited to honor him and happy to see him.
Yeah, this is a really special occasion. Esteban is part of the crew. You know, the missing senior year group. And so when I think back, I was thinking about, like, what am I going to say today? and I think back to, you know, trying to reach out through text message and Google call and whatnot. And then we get started, right? And I don't know what to tell these guys. All I can try to do is just remain as positive as I can. And, you know, some of our first, you know, Zoom meetings were like, hey, you know, what training shoe you're going to run in? And we're looking at baby pictures and whatever. But the whole idea was that we would get back to normal at some point. And when we did, we would do something special with the group that we had. I really felt like the young men that decided that they would use Hartnell could really change our culture as well as bring respectability to our program across the state. And as you can see, like all these trophies on the table, it definitely just shows that that's what happened. It was a long year that first year, but thankfully we made it to December and we got back on campus, and then we started to have a lot more fun. And I know even Peman has described it before, is, you know, you get to that point where, like, well, what are we going to do this for? Like, I don't even know if I'm ever going to race. I don't, you know, I should just go work, like many young people chose to do. But as I've always said, runners run, and you would run if there's no race or not. And so thankfully he kept running, and we were able to come back and have a good first year and really show what his potential was, that when we did wear the Hartnell uniform, it was going to be something special. You know, what he's accomplished in these 2 years is outstanding. To help our team become the first at Hartnell ever to place at the state meet in the top 3. To run some of the fastest times ever, obviously, even in that first year. And then to come back and what I call graduate to the next level. You know, take our team back to the state meet with basically almost half of a whole new crew and still get top 4 and knock on the door of another trophy. Himself going from just being an all-state runner to runner-up All-American, and then this spring, obviously, state champ. Like, you know, that's what it's all for. And it all kind of comes back to these critical moments in life of, like, what am I going to do with my life? Am I going to just go work, or am I going to run? Am I going to leave Hartnell after 2 years, or am I going to come back? And then now we get to hear, what do I do after Hartnell? And he's chosen to go to Western Colorado University, and he couldn't be more proud. I know there's much more that he's going to achieve, and we talk about it. I send him messages because I don't want this to be the best he ever does. I want him to strive to be the best runner that we've ever had. Obviously, we have great mentors in his brother, and Diego, and George, and Justin. But there's nothing that says that the bar can't keep being raised, and that should inspire all our generations below him. And so with that, I can't tell you how proud I am. It was a long road.
Good work, yeah, I don't know. It's been nice. It's been fun. I think it's gonna be, people aren't gonna like this, but the hardest goodbye for me was saying bye to Ricky. I don't know. We've taken every step together when it's come to running and going to school and stuff, and now he loves me so much he's following me to Colorado. So. I guess it's not too bad because it'll be pretty close, but obviously, like, Wallo's over here trying to keep it together too. But I mean, I wanted to do whatever he did and better, and same goes for everyone else. I mean, like he said, I had Diego before me, and we go back to like Tapia and Estrada, a bunch of really or Tapia, and then Cerrados, like a bunch of really good runners, and I just wanted to amount to them. And I always told myself wherever I go, I want to leave a mark, and I'm glad I was able to come to Hartnell and be one of the best runners here, school record holder for the 10K. So that says something, even if it's only up for a year because of that guy.
Benito.
So yeah, thank you for everyone supporting me. I have friends here from high school. I have friends here that I made this year, like Emmy, Axel, all the freshmen. I'm glad I was able to meet all of you guys and Moy. And yeah, just thank you guys and my grandma too for being there for my championship races in high school. She's got to see me maybe race twice, but she's got to see some pretty good races. So yeah, just thank you guys for always supporting me, and I appreciate it. And my family and my wedding family, I can't go without saying thank you to them, because all of you guys mean a lot to me, and I love all of you guys. So thank you.
Always.
Justin, George, all you guys, everybody, you know, I'm just proud of this kid. Thank you, Z, for
Are you buzzing? You're not strangling him. Sentimental.
Don't listen to me. You don't say anything.
Yeah. Just thank you guys for being here. And some of you guys were there for me too, so thank you for me and them. Thank you guys a lot.
Great work.
I'd like to start. I'm going to let Mr. Riley here announce where he's chosen to continue his education and his writing. He's tried to keep it relatively a secret. I know it means a lot for him to make this announcement, so I'll leave the announcement to you, Josh.
Alright, it's gonna be UC Merced, everybody.
I'll have to say, when I started recruiting during the pandemic, and I was, as a coach, I was learning to do like Google calls and stuff like that. And when I finally got a hold of Josh, it was the longest recruiting call I've ever had in my life. I definitely left that call knowing who Josh Riley was, and I also knew that I wanted him to run for me. There was just something about him. We had common interests, a little backstory about engineering that we kind of bonded over. I was intrigued by the writing that he did, and he wanted to send me his book about King City, and so we talked about kind of a documentary type of idea. Little did I know that that would actually come to fruition this year, but it was a really cool experience, and he was the type of kid that once we got back to competing in the spring during that COVID season, and I watched him race, it only reaffirmed what I had felt when I talked to him online, was that this was somebody that I wanted to be a panther for me. During his years, I just really appreciated the effort that he put in. I don't think a lot of people understood how much it took to be a panther for Josh. If you ever want to know, drive to San Francisco, today or tomorrow, and then imagine being there all day and then have to drive back and then do that a couple days a week and do a hard run in there and try to get it straight A's. And so I was always really inspired by the lengths at which he would go to be a part of this program and make sure that he enjoyed his time while he was at Hartnell, because that's what it is. Like, you make these sacrifices to be here, you watch your friends go off to other schools, even if you were one of the higher performers in your graduating class, but there's something else that you want to do. You want to run, you want to be a part of this program. And Josh really made the most of it. You can see by the books that he put together for the team that I think, like as I tell kids, you won't get it now, you'll get it in 5 and 10 and 15 years. I hope all of you will open these up and look through them. If you just remember how special Josh was, that he did this for us. He took the time and he cared that much about his experience. He wanted you all to see it through his eyes. That's what I take from it. I come every day, I do my thing, but then I look through those pictures and it brings back a lot of emotions and memories, and I can't thank him enough for taking the time and effort to do all that. And I'll cherish those. They'll sit in my bookcase, and and I'll show everybody in the future. And then it turned in from books to vlogs, which I thought was really cool, because I think that was his process of learning how to handle race day and anxiety and make sure that it still just stays fun. Like, I'm here with my friends. Like, I want to show the world what it is to be at Hartnell. I want to show them what it's like to have ups and downs as a collegiate athlete. And he developed a fan base, which he was surprised.
I was.
But again, the lengths at which he went beyond just showing up. And that's something that Josh has always probably been known for. He just doesn't show up. He always shows up and he puts forth the A+ effort. And so these are all just examples of who he is as a person. When we were talking, he looked at Hartnell with a very mature point of view of, like, I know this will help my family. I've got good grades, but going to Hartnell is the smarter choice. I want to run. We'll save money. And maybe I'll get some scholarships out of it academically, and it'll make things a little bit easier. And then I'll get my engineering degree. And right back then, he didn't really think, well, I'll run after Hartnell. And so then we get to the season, and he starts having breakthroughs left and right. And not that the freshman year wasn't a breakthrough, but it was just the start. And so this year, to see him continue to improve and do things that he never thought he was going to do, and it kind of always goes back to the discussions I have with, athletes and say, well, you're going to do this at some point. You go, see, you're crazy. And this is going back to 2006. My athletes always said, see, you're crazy. And they said, no, in any given timeline, anybody can achieve what anybody else has ever done before them. And Josh has proven that in 2 years at Hartnell, he was able to do things that he marveled at what his teammates did or the other athletes that he competed at. He's there now too. And he probably will surpass some of the things that he's watched other people do because he understands it now. He understands there's a process to it. He's joining a great program at UC Merced. The coach is extremely excited about him. I almost had to convince Merced, like, no, you don't have to worry about him academically. Trust me, he's fine. He'll get in. And he did. It was almost that the coach was a little worried, but I was like, no, Josh is going to get in. And then as his improvements came, then the coach realized this is a young man that I have to have. The more that he interacted with me, and I talked to him in San Francisco, and then he watched Josh race firsthand, and that's the kid that I need on my team, just like I did during that Google call. So, Josh, I would like you to read your promise to everybody.
For sure. Alright, we ready? Alright, so, and it's stated, so it's stated. Okay. So I, Josh Riley, promise to continue to be an outstanding student while attending UC Merced. I will take the lessons learned at Hartnell and aim to make a positive impact in my academic development. Department. In addition, until the opportunity to continue to be a student athlete, I will strive to be a leader by example and voice, and example daily to help build the UC Merced program. I promise to continue to challenge myself as a runner, as I've learned to be during my career, and leave my mark as a Bobcat. And signature on the side right here.
And so what I asked Josh to do is take that, fold it up, put it in maybe one of these books, and maybe down the line at graduation from UC Merced, he'll open it up and he'll remember that he made that promise to not just himself, but to his family, to me, teammates, and friends.
So now I gotta fulfill it.
So Josh, opportunity to speak succinctly, but no, obviously the floor is yours, and you have a tremendous amount of support here, so take as long as you need.
I'm proud that the record I left at Hartnell is the longest recruiting call. I did not know that, so let's go. Let's see, it's been a journey. I remember back in 2017, my dad said, you're gonna do a sport, and he said you're gonna do cross country. I didn't even know what cross country was. I just knew it was the sport they did in McFarland. But, next thing I know, I run it. Turns out I'm actually decently fast. Where's Zendaya? Zendaya asked me if I was decently fast, and I kind of stuck with it. But little did I realize I would be continuing it in college, and then using it as a means to help get me through college between academics, connections, and just enjoying the overall experience. So if I could travel back in time and tell younger me one thing, I would tell him I'm very proud that he listened to his dad and went for it and just never gave up. And with that, besides just running times, game medals, winning team titles, the best part was honestly the experience. The KC boys really made it fun, and I'm only sorry that, like in running, I have to be behind Peman in times, but I also have to go right after his speech, which is amazing. I'll have a hard time topping that one out. But I do want to give a special shout out to all the King City guys, Daniel Correa, Stefan Denise, Ricky Diaz, and Mario. And I will say this, of all the KC guys, I love you all, but I definitely probably will miss Mario the most, since he and I were the same grades. We suffered through a lot of things together, and we're both class of 2021. He was there with me the whole way. That's not me saying I do not love the other guys. I love you guys, but I have a very special bond with Mario. So Mario, I do want to give you a shout out for that. And then one other shout I do want to give. One of the best parts of Hartnell was not only growing alongside my teammates and seeing them achieve what they deemed as impossible to improve, but was also seeing others. And one person I actually do want to talk about is Moises Benito. I remember the first time I met him, he destroyed me in a race. I got 440 and he got 431. It was a dual meet. little did I know that guy was going to be my teammate, and I'm very glad I got to be with him. He still destroys me. Don't get me wrong. But in the 1500, his high school PR was what was it, 417, right? And mine was 437. As of right, he'll surpass it, but mine's 405 for the 1500 and 357, 356, 354. So still a gap, but not as much. I'm an engineer, what can I say? And the difference is there. But regardless, the thing that will go down besides the times on the team titles is just going to be the overall experience of running and just having fun with the teams. And I look through these a lot. I'm just very happy, and I'm very happy for the community I've gotten to meet here just beyond the KC guys. So with that, thank you to everyone that showed up. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the memories then, now, and in the future, guys. I'd like to think I do a good job of keeping in touch, and I'll definitely keep tabs and just talk with you all, because you all are second family with the running community. So that's all I gotta say. Thank you for listening, and go Bobcats.